Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Disgruntled Docs podcast, episode 1. You got your boy here, and we have our first guest, which technically I should be the guest because he's the triple OG, the man himself, the man, the myth, the legend, Kung Fu. How's it going, bro?
How is it going? I mean, you give me too much credit, dude. I've been lurking in the shadows for a while now. I mean, the page would be long dead without you. So you're carrying. What is it? You fucking joked the other day. You're carrying all of us on your back.
Yeah, something like that. I got this chronic lower back pain, bro.
Because we're all just chilling in your fucking ruck.
I got this Alice pack, bro, just falling apart. But
right.
yeah, man, like a lot of the stuff on the page really wouldn't be where it is now if you hadn't originated and come up with the idea of creating the page. So talk to us a little bit about like kind of how it all started, where'd you got the idea and how it all came to be.
All right. Yeah. So, I mean, if, the military social media pages have been around for a minute. I mean, mostly what they started off like during the height of, fucking OEF, like, so 2010, 2011 time frame, back when the big dogs were fucking running things when it was like the original JTOTS, not fucking JTOTS 376 or whatever fucking page number they're on now. Fucking, and then what else? It was also PBF, Pobu Fucks, and
the
what was the other one? Do You Even Gun Bro? Like,
oh yeah,
those are some of the real heavy hitters back in the day, and I was fresh from division, and I got I PCS'd to a shore command, and I remember like I was on the fence about fucking re-enlisting. I mean, like, you put the bullshit long enough, you're like, nah, fuck this, dude. Like, I'm gonna get my EAS, smoke all this weed, get the fuck out. Like, looking forward to it, but after a couple of pumps, you're just like, I don't know, man, do I really want to? Like, if I can sit here and do this shit, and just keep doing my thing with the boys, like, maybe it'll be worth staying. So when I came up for fucking orders, they wanted me to re-enlist so bad, and I was just like, yeah, maybe I'll think about it. And so, of course, in order for me to PCS, I had to either extend or re-enlist. And I didn't want to do either one. I was just like, well, what if I just stay with the unit? You can't do that. Why not? Why can't I just finish my time with the unit and then decide if I want to fucking re-enlist? Just can't. All right, well, what if I go to another unit? Can't do that. Okay, what if I go to a fucking non-deploying unit like tanks? Can't do that. Like, what the fuck? Like, okay, what? Like, you guys are really making me fucking big here, but to stay greenside. But what if I went with the fucking wing? Nah. Like, hold up. Are you fucking kidding me? You telling me I'm volunteering myself to go to the fucking wing and you don't want to give it to me? Like, what the fuck, bro? Like, all right. And then, so the next thing was so I had to pick something. So I was like, all right, fuck it. Like, let me pick somewhere cool overseas. Because I was married, too expensive. Married kids, too expensive. So, like, literally, dude, it was just like fucking no. Like, so literally, they're like, all right, you know what? Like, here's the list of places you can fucking go. Write down like the fucking top 5 you want to go. Do no bullshit. I wrote my top 5, and they gave the fucking bottom of my list. The last place I wanted to fucking go.
Of course, that's how they always do it.
I was like, oh, all right. Well, fuck me, I guess. Like, you know, if this is the way it was going to be, why give me a fucking choice? So already I was kind of salty. Fucking just having the PCS in general. Fucking. A second, my fucking headphones are fucking off. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, cool. All right. Yeah, so I fucking was already salty like by the time it came to my command, but because it was like I said, it was bottom of the fucking barrel for me. I didn't really want that place. So, you know, I get there and I check in, and the first thing they say to me is like, you know, like I can't remember whoever the fuck was on watch when I checked in the quarter deck. And they're like, oh wow, like look at that, look at those ribbons. What? You're only an HN? Like, oh, like you came from Greenside? Like, yeah, I did. Like, oh, okay, well, you know, you're gonna be working with the ED. That's where all the FMF corpsmen go to work. And I was like, oh, really? Like, yeah, that's where they all go to work. Like, that's cool. Like, sounds awesome. So when I finally got to fucking check into my department, I get there, and literally there's only all the FMF corpsmen go there. There's only 2 other FMF guys there, or technically 3. So it was like, that's it. Like, really? Like, well, all right. You know, there was 4, but that guy, you know, I know people would get all fucking salty about this, but that guy's fucking Med Battalion. You know, I don't.
Yeah.
You know, I had 3 fucking hard dick charging fucking infantry guys that were in that department with me, and then the fucking, why do you guys act like you're better than me? Fucking Med Battalion guy.
Because we are.
Yeah, pretty much. So, you know, like after a while of being there, like, you know, this, like, you realize, like, fuck, man. Like, I knew coming in to this place that the way shit was handled was going to be differently. You know, of course,
yeah.
You know, shit. If you're East Coast, you know they call it going to the fucking tree line. I don't know what you West Coast guys call it. Fucking going to the fucking dunes. I don't know what do you guys call it.
I don't know, because even on the West Coast, we get like guys from the East Coast and, hey, take it to the tree line, or hey, let's take it out back. You know,
okay, yeah. See, so you know, so when you hear shit like that, you know, like that's how shit's getting handled. You know, like,
oh yeah,
you're either getting the fucking ass chewing of your life, or you're throwing fucking fisticuffs. But either way, when it's all said and done, it's fucking
everyone's
done.
good. You know?
Yeah. So like I knew shit like that wasn't gonna fly, obviously. But it was almost like a fucking. It's like a whole new world for me. And like, I hate saying this, like saying shit like this, but like, you know, like, you know, they say like, oh, back in my day, like, or the fucking back in the old Corps, like that type shit. Was, like, I know I fucking joined, you know, late 2008, early 2009, but like, you
still got a taste of how different things were.
Yeah. Like, you know, like, I mean, one, I got to see. I was one of the last. Like, literally, I was one of the first divisions to get issued NSUs. Like, you know, so like, I remember the show was like, oh, these are our service blues. Or fucking call them Johnny Black or fucking
Johnny Cashes.
And I was like, dude, those are fucking clean. But you guys aren't getting them. What? The fuck you mean you're not getting those? These are the new ones. But I like the other ones.
Too bad.
We're you know. So, but like just from changing commands, dude, and like between months time from changing from green side to blue side.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I figured there'd be certain things would be different, but it was like a whole new military, bro. Like, you know, like you really couldn't even fucking reprimand people when it was warranted, you know, like fucking somebody fucks up, like somebody fucked up, and I was just like, hey, you fucking what the fuck, and instantly was met with like, hey, we don't, you know, fucking Black Panther, fucking, we don't do that here, like. I was like, what? You serious? Like, we don't fucking reprimand when our juniors fuck up? Like, and it wasn't even like I was full on ass chewing. It was just literally, it was like, hey, you come here. Like, what the fuck's your problem? Yeah. Oh, hey, you can't do that here. Like, what? Like, this is fucking nuts. So after dealing with all this type shit and dealing with these newer, I mean, I say it now, but I know the majority of the corpsman population are nowadays is from San Antonio. But
yeah,
when I got there, this is like right after they shut down OG Corps School and moved it to San Antonio. So I had this very, very big distaste for fucking San Antonio corpsmen. And mind you, like eventually, like, you know, I would find some diamonds in the rough, but you know, it was just a bunch of jackwads, dude, just fucking rolling around, one thumb up the ass and a fucking fist in their dicks, like, you know what I mean? Like, they just had no fucking sense, and it was like, but you try to correct them, you try to fucking, you know, put them on the fucking straight and narrow to where, you know, like, yeah, I'm chewing your ass, but you'll fucking thank me in the long run. Like,
yeah,
it just wasn't happening. There was no military, and I really fucking hate saying this because I was like, I've never been a big like, oh, military bearing and military discipline, but like the green side, you pick that, you know, you have a sense of what that is, and you know, like you read the room, you know, like when shit happens, like,
oh yeah,
you know, when you have, go ahead.
Yeah, because there's that sense of hierarchy, and as soon as you get there, you understand your place in the food chain. Like,
yeah, exactly.
You have no pin, you have no rank. You're at the bottom of that totem pole. You're at the mercy of everyone else at that given point in time. So,
yeah.
And if you don't learn right away, you'll learn the hard way, but you'll learn quick.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, I definitely understand that.
So, you know, with all this, you know, fucking baptism to the new world order, the new Navy. Fucking, what was it? What was the fucking before the Navy slogan now is fucking forged by the sea, which is actually it's pretty tight. But what was it? What was it? A fucking global force for good.
Global force for good.
When that was the new slogan, and the new Navy became what it's probably become now. Yeah, dude, I had about enough of it. I was like, this is fucking bullshit, dude. Like, what is happening? Like, like people could talk shit all they want about the Navy, and I'm just like, yeah, you're right. Like, we suck.
So,
you know, I was just so fucking fed up with it. So, but being so salty or disgruntled, you know, and having my small circle of fucking compadres, fucking fellow fucking grunt corpsmen, to, you know, chill with and fucking vent our frustrations to each other. We found our fucking oasis on these military humor pages, fucking PBF, JTOTS, fucking Do You Even Gun Bro, like, and they were, you know, like fuck yeah, dude, like, and you know, I know things have fucking changed and evolved drastically from what they used to be.
Drastically, bro.
As far as the way these things are done, like, you know, there's not as much call for fires on dumbasses or shitheads. There's not fucking, you know, pretty much just call.
Things are different. Yeah, things are definitely way different from back in the 2011 days where just
Yeah.
Wild Wild West, anything was a go. But
Yeah.
like you were saying, this whole Navy stuff, everything's going to shit.
So
Things are how
a
you were
lot
done
of the,
before, yeah.
yeah. So, but a lot of what they're posting, you know, the early meme, the big block letters and shit, like,
Comic Sans.
yeah, exactly. And shit like that, like, it was all shit we could relate to, but like we were constantly finding like, well, like we would comment on shit and then there'd be some fucking, you know, staff sergeant fucking water dog in the fucking comments be like, shut the fuck up, Navy. Like, what the fuck do you know about it? We're like, well, you know, yeah, I may be in the Navy, but I'm a fucking corpsman and I've done more Marine Corps related shit than your punk ass ever has. Like, we were constantly finding ourselves in the comment section having to hold our own against these dudes.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's like everybody knows the history that goes with the Navy and the Marine Corps.
Oh, most
Everybody
definitely.
knows. If you're a Marine, to act like, oh, the Navy's, you know, Navy ain't shit, fucking men's department, you know, and to act like corpsmen don't do shit in the Marine Corps, you're fucking, you know, you're blowing smoke out of your ass if you honestly think that's how the way it is, you know. You're just, you know, they're just salty pieces of shit that, you know, that literally know, oh, every Marine a rifleman, but really not really. This guy's not even a Marine and he's done more rifleman shit than me. So
if you go to the range 3 or 4 times in 1 year, you're not an infantryman.
Right? No shit. Yeah, fuck. If you don't go to the field more than fucking 3 times in 2 months, you know, you're not infantry. You know, fuck, man. Like, so, like, that topic just kept coming up, and we were just like, what the fuck? Like, and you know, like, every now and again, you know, those pages would kind of give us like a nod or a shout out, like, you know, like, here's a corpsman meme or something. Like, what was there was a corpsman meme page, like, it didn't last as long.
Was it that FMF corpsman one?
I think it was corpsman memes or some shit like that. Like,
yeah.
I can't remember.
I remember something like that, and I think it was probably a predecessor to Disgruntled, because it just kind of set a bar, and it's like, okay, but they were super normal
yeah,
tier.
exactly.
Like,
they weren't as aggressive. Like, they were more like rated E for everyone type shit.
Yeah.
And it just got to the point, like, I was like, dude, like, you know what, dude? Like, one day it just kind of fucking hit me. Like, me and the original co-founder, Silver Bullet, I'm gonna dick around and say, you know, may he rest in peace. But he's thriving pretty good out in the old Civ Div.
Yeah.
Yeah, me and him, like, I went to him one day. I was like, dude, like you know, he was a West Coast doc on the East Coast doc. I said, dude, let's start a fucking page. Like, let's fucking do a doc page, like, you know. And what's great about it is we can not only fuck around and talk shit on, you know, Navy corpsman boots or just Navy people in general. We can also dip into the Marine Corps side, and like we have the best of both fucking worlds with you know who we are, and we kind of ran with it. I mean, and then it was 4 of us at first. There was I'm trying to remember the call signs.
Even then, so
yeah, it was 4 of us.
There was 4 of y'all that started the original ones. Yeah. Around what time frame, if that?
Like 2012, I believe, like October-ish 2012, or I just know 2012 for sure. I don't know what month, but and it was at first it was you know, we were pulling a lot of just resharing like the corpsman comic strips from Terminal Lance, or sharing memes from other pages, and then when we started to kind of figure out, like, come up with our own content as far as meme goes, and then we would mirror off of what we were seeing, like, you know, PBF or J-Tots when they would call for fire on some dumbass, like, oh, there's tons of shit like this. Like, I remember one of the very first guys was some fucking HN who wore fucking dinner, the fucking dinner blues with his fucking pizza box and his fucking GWAT medal. I was like, are you fucking kidding me, bro? Like, who the fuck are you trying to, like, who are you trying to impress with that type of shit? Like I felt like such an insignificant fuck on, you know, just wearing my regular blues with my, when I was boot with my fucking national GWAT and fucking marksman ribbon, you know, just my 3 ribbon stack. I felt so insignificant. And this guy had the balls to be like, dinner blues, what up? Like, come on, like, really, like, and so we, like I said, we mirrored a lot of that, of trying to, I guess, be like the other pages. And for a little bit, it kind of worked really well for us. Like, it seemed like the pages kind of took off a little bit from there. And then we kind of decided, like, all right, so we started to get our audience, then maybe we should try to mix things up, kind of find our own footing, you know, not rely so heavily on what everybody else is doing. And with that, you know, we had some fucking lineup changes as far as admins and creators. Like, fuck, dude, there's a good bit of us. Like, how many are in the fucking group chat? Like, too many of us.
There's way too many. But yeah, so you had that original lineup before, and then around what time frame did that next new lineup kind of come about? Because I still kind of remember, even when I got to Division, I started seeing new handles, and then that's when I kind of started seeing a little bit more frequent of different admins kind of being posted on there.
I wanted to say probably the following year, 2013, because you know, the first page, you know, DD1, it ran pretty good, and then we really starting to get into the flow of getting into people's asses and talking all the shit, and that's when we had our first page get shut down. And I remember it was like a bittersweet thing where, like, because that's when PBF and J-Tots were already on, like, their fucking 10th, you know, their fucking 10th or 11th pages by now, fucking double digits. And, you know, you remember when that was the thing, like, you go to check, like, oh, like, I'm going to check PBF, like, see what new shit they got up, and you'd be like, oh, fuck. And then next you know, somebody be busting in the barracks and be like, yo, did you see PBF just got shut down? Like, fuck, yeah, me too. And then everybody's trying to figure out when's PBF coming back up. Like, you remember how big of a fucking deal that was?
Yeah, that was like BAS news as soon as it hit. It's just like, oh, bro, did you see that? It's like, yeah, dude, are they coming back? Like, I don't know. Like, everyone's just waiting, and then you see someone share a meme or someone says that, hey, they're back on, bro, and you're just like, okay, let me go follow them real quick.
So when that happened, that first fucking happened, it was like, fuck yeah, like, we're in the game. We're in the fucking game. We got our first shutdown. But at the same time, like, well, fuck, dude. Like,
we just got shut down.
Yeah, we were actually doing pretty good on the likes. Like, we had some pretty good momentum. Like, fuck, now we got to build all this shit back up. So it was when we started DD2 that it dropped down to 3 of us. And then in 2013, dude, we had a bunch of lineup changes. Like I said, we lost one first, and then we gained one. Then we lost him, gained 2. Like, it was a lot of back and forth. And at that same time, we were also, like, in real life, we were having to deal with people, you know, of course, like with all the other military pages, trying to get to the bottom of who was fucking running shit, and, you know, this, that, and the other. And, you know, like, the playing fucking coy game, like, yeah, I don't know who the fuck that is. Like, what are you talking about? I just follow the page just like everybody else. Like, I just like their shit. So I want to say really by 2014, I guess it was where we had our most constant, most constant lineup as far as admins and creators go.
Yeah.
It was me, Silver Bullet, Doczilla,
Warhammer.
I can't even remember. Warhammer. Oh, fuck, dude, I almost forgot about Warhammer. It's been a minute since I talked to that dude. I hit him up the other day, actually. It was like a few months back. Just told him, hoped he was doing okay. He's fucking living life.
Yeah, I just hit him up today, funny enough.
Oh, really?
But, yeah.
Dude,
yeah,
you should get fucking on, dude. That'd be great.
Eventually, we're going to try to get on as many people as possible. But, yeah, I remember that 2014 lineup was, like, huge because
yeah. And we were all contributing. It was almost like, remember we had to we had so many of us and we were all contributing. We were all so active that we had to like, all right, hey, I'm going to post right now. But like, all right, cool. I'll post in like 2 hours. Like, okay, yeah. After you, like, we're all fucking, like, it was like we were running a train on the fucking page. We were all taking turns.
Yeah, it was a pretty wild time. And even, I still kind of remember, and I still cherish a lot of those times because I remember I used to be a huge fan of the page. So for people that don't know, I'm not an OG. I've just kind of been a supplemental, and then.
I mean, you might as well be OG now. I mean, like I said, you really fuck. I mean, for anybody who doesn't know, and I'm going to say this, like. And who, if you've been following us since day one, you knew that at a certain point in time, what was it, Disgruntled Docs 7 or 6, where we really started to decline on the Facebook front, and we would be constantly in our group chat trying to figure out what the fuck we could do to change things and to get our momentum back, get our fucking mojo back,
Yeah.
And if it wasn't. If it wasn't for fucking MJ here, fucking pitching that maybe we should switch to Instagram, I'm not even sure. I'm not even sure we'd be relevant anymore. That's for fucking sure. Because when all this happened, the IG page has been up for like 3 years now.
Just about 3 years, I believe, to be honest.
It's been up for 3 years now, and I've been out for 6. So like, and we talked about this the other day. Since being out, dude, like I was really had an issue with trying to make time to come up with content and contribute to the page as much as I used to when I was fucking active duty, between school, VA appointments, work, like big life shit, where, I'm busy doing other shit. And then on top of that, being out, like, I'm not sure what's fucking relevant and what's news. Like, you can only crack so many fucking San Antonio Corpsman jokes before everybody's just like, all right, like, we get it. Like,
yeah.
But like 95% of Corpsmen now are from San Antonio. Like, every now and again, it's good to drop that old gem of the fucking original core school meme. Like,
yeah,
us old heads would be like, fuck yeah, like, you guys don't know shit about that. Like, and it's good, but if you fucking, like me being on the page and constantly dropping shit like that, it gets old. Like, so.
Yeah.
Us switching, like the whole IG thing was definitely the breath of new life. So, like I said, I mean, you may not consider yourself an OG, but I mean, you might as well be an OG. Somebody's got to be in charge when the OGs go to fucking the nursing home. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So. Yeah, like it's definitely been one crazy mission picking up from Instagram then, but then going back to 2014, new additions, everyone's contributing. Yeah. What was the peak time frame that you recall for Disgruntled Docs, even just on that Facebook? like the Facebook?
Peak time frame.
Oh, which iteration maybe lasted the longest, where it might have contributed the most fuckery, I guess you can kind of say.
Most fuckery. Which I want to say what
DD3.
What's that?
DD3.
DD3. You're right. DD3. We had the biggest following. That was our biggest one because that was when you came on, and
Yeah.
I remember because I can't remember the number we got, but I remember it was something. To us, it seemed outlandish that we had so many followers. It was like 13K or some shit.
No, it was like 20, like over 20 something or something like that.
Oh, that's right. And I remember I was like, man, but that's when we were in our element, we were networking with other pages.
Yep.
That's when like the pages that are now defunct, that like like Effin' Wook was still around. They were constantly giving us shout outs. And even some of like the newer, like smaller pages. Well, shit, even we were working with
Lance Corman.
And what's the other Corman one?
It's gonna bother me now that I can't remember.
I know. Fuck. And I know the dude. Like I fucking know that. I've had a full conversation with the dude, and I can't fucking remember it.
Band-Aid Actual. That's his call sign, but I can't remember the name of the page for the love of me.
The Board Corman.
Board Corman.
Yeah. So like, so that was to me that was our peak, because not only were we were at the table, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, the fucking Dons had called us to the table, They're bringing us into the family.
First of all, you brought me into the family because I remember, I don't think we were even on DD3 yet, or it might have been up on that iteration. I'm not entirely sure. My memory is kind of jacked up. Yes. But I remember you guys putting out the little feeler out there. Hey, if anyone thinks they're good enough, go ahead and put in for a submission, and we'll discuss with all the Dons and see if you're worthy enough to carry the title of Disgruntled Dogs admin. And I remember I just came back from deployment maybe not so long ago, and I was looking at it and I was like, man, should I even submit to that? Like, and I remember still like a lot during that time frame that I was always submitting a lot of stuff to you guys.
Yeah.
Pictures of people. I was buying merch. I was doing the total boot thing.
But dude, that's what we really needed. Like, because I remember, it seemed like at that point in time, it was like, not saying that the other guys weren't contributing or anything. Like it's always been a joint collective, and I've never once said that.
Like a single point, yeah.
Yeah, I've never once been like, this is my page. It's always been our page type deal,
Yeah.
But there was just a point in time, and I don't know if it was because everybody was busy or what, but like a lot of the content, I was coming up with like making memes or finding this or finding that, and really just kind of like, hey, either you post it or I'll post it under your handle, like to where, because like I would notice that like I would post 5 times in a row, and like I really like, to me, I felt like,
putting out the work.
This has been a group collective, and I don't want people to get the wrong idea. I understand that fucking life gets in the way, dude. Shit happens, and like I said, I didn't want people to think that I was like either like booted the other guys, or I don't, like you said, I didn't want people to think that I was the only
picking a favorite as well too.
What's up?
Like you weren't the only one, or you might have been picking a favorite, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. So, and that was really that was the second time we visited the idea of getting a new admin. The only and I'll tell you this: the only reason why Doczilla came on board is because he figured out who the fuck I was. I mean, I give it to him as because I should have expected it. Me and Doczilla go way back to fucking core school, and
he's a smart cat. You know what I mean? Like you can't.
Yeah, exactly. Like, to be honest, when I was his I remember when I checked into core school, he had been there out of like a few months longer than me, and I was the boot, right? But when after he graduated and took off, the next time I saw Doc Zilla was after my first appointment, and he was checking into my unit. Sup, boot?
How'd the table turn, huh?
Yeah, exactly. So, he figured out who I was, but and I've known him for so long, and I've told him time and time again, he fucking internet's too hard, dude. The shit that he finds, sometimes it blows my fucking mind. So it was like a no-brainer to bring him on board. But but the second time, right before we brought you on board, that was when we were really like, all right, dudes, like you guys, like first we threw around the idea, like, you guys know anybody who might, like, just personally might know who might be in it? Like I don't know, because we were also getting a lot of heat on the outside about,
a whole lot of heat.
Yeah. So we were like, I don't know, man, like, fuck, like, this dude's tight, like, he's cool, but at the same time, he's tight with people who are fucking butthurt because we put him on blast last week. Like, so who knows? So that's when we're like, all right, fuck it, like, let's see, we'll put our feelers out. And, that was the very first time we decided to come up with fucking the burner accounts.
Yep.
And all the other pages had been telling us for a while, just use, to use burner accounts, because so when we catch bans and shit like that, the page gets shut down. It doesn't affect our personal ones.
Yep.
And I was like, well, the only people that know who the fuck's doing the page are my fucking close friends. Like, so I don't have to worry about them ratting me out. Like, we've been doing this for a year or two now. So, I mean, if I'm going down, they're going down. So they've got nothing to gain from fucking throwing me under the bus,
Oh, for sure.
So that's when we made the burner accounts, and that's when we fucking threw out the fucking tryout audition, so to fucking speak. But we, I remember you came heavy with the content. You're fucking, because that's when we did the trial. 24 hours to access the page. The page is all yours. Do what you fucking please. And it was like banger after banger, dude. I was fucking loving it. It was like.
And it was so funny too, because even during that time frame, I remember I was still kind of nervous about it, because it was just like, fuck, man, like, I'm over here trying to like swim with the big dogs now, and I'm like, I just came back from Afghan, I came back from Sangin, I was like, hey, you know what, I can't really like be with these dudes, and I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna try it out. I know that Warhammer and I were like, we're cool. We've always been cool. Yeah. So then he's one of my seniors. So then I was like, hey, maybe he can put in a good word for me. So I was like, I'll talk to him, and then I'll talk to him and then see what's up, and then maybe see if I'm worthy. And then I remember I submitted stuff and send memes and send my little bio, I guess you can kind of say. Yeah. And then I guess he had already put in a good word. And I remember I don't stress about a lot of things. I'm just gonna throw it out. But that might have been one of like the few things that I was stressing about. I remember I saw the post. Yeah. And then afterwards I was just like, oh my God, like, do I fucking try out? Do I send something? Yeah. Do I not? Like, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean?
It's crazy how that shit works out. Like, even though we started the page, and it was like, well, we're disgruntled docs, because that's where, our current situation, what we're doing, we're fucking disgruntled. Like,
that's a fact.
But we, of course, just like with everything else, like, like, oh, I don't give a fuck, this not give a fuck attitude. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, when you're trying to like stand shoulder to shoulder with your peers, there's that like low key fucking, I don't look like a bitch in front of these guys. Like,
yeah, that's how I felt. And it was just like, I was like, man, am I gonna make the cut? Like, what do they say? No, and I'm like, man, I'm just like trying to not even send anything. And I was like, you know what? Nah, I'm good. I know I'm good.
Yeah.
I had to kind of reach down, grab my aguacates and be like, yeah, I got it. I'm good. And then I remember I submitted my stuff, and then I was like stressing about it all night. And then I was like, whatever, it is what it is. If I get it, I get it. If I don't, I don't. And then I remember that morning I woke up and I look at my messages, and it was just like, message from Disgruntled Docs. And I was like, oh my God, dude.
College acceptance letter. Like, fuck, I can't read it.
And I click it, and they're like, bro, we've been waiting for you. Just see if you can submit, man. We've been having you in mind for a while. And I was just like, oh, damn, dude. I'm in.
Fucking made it. I'm the fucking big leagues.
Look at me, Mom. I'm a real man now.
But, dude, I just remember that was the fucking I mean, like, I don't want to say like we peaked early, but that was peak. DD3 was peak, man, because like I said, we had our fucking phenomenal lineup of admins and creators, and we were at the table with the OG military humor pages. You know, we were networking, and then and I don't want to like sound like fucking like a narcissist or like a big head or anything, but like when TBC and Lance Corman popped up, it was like, we initially got inspiration from the Corman memes page. I think that's the name of it. But they went off the grid just like out of nowhere. So I felt like we picked up where they left off. And then now here are these other two pages, and it's like I said, I don't want to like sound like full of myself or anything, but there was a sense of like, fuck, dude, like we kind of had a part in that. Like we're starting our own little revolution here, like, and it was pretty fucking sweet. Like it was kind of like I said, like we had this huge reach, we had all this going on for us, and then we had these two other pages that were coming, similar content, and they were Corman based pages. And like I said, it helped. It felt like we had a hand in that.
We did though, because I've spoken to multiple admins from both pages, and they did get some inspiration from all of us because they saw the content that, at least this was before like I was in there, but when you had all the OGs in there, they saw all the content that was going on and all the stuff, and the same similar story. But then they saw somebody else now. It's like, hey, there's somebody else spearheading something, and they're doing the same thing. Why can't we do it? And so we were kind of that inspiration at that same time to kind of, it's like, hey, there's not enough Corman representation in our community, even though as dumb as it sounds, just making memes, but it's just like,
But you're right though. Like there's so much like the whole inspiration behind us starting it was there was all this content being made with Marine Corps humor that we all could relate to. But but when it comes to that shit, people forget that Corman are there too. And we're right there doing the same shit, laughing at the same shit, doing the same dumb shit. Everybody makes the joke about fucking running perfect 300, getting a fucking 300 PFT. But they leave out the part where fucking Doc made the fucking barracks room call at 3 a.m., doing fucking, putting a fucking IV in you.
Most definitely.
Or, Doc's just as drunk or twice as drunk as you, running the PFT next to you, but with his med bag, like, shit like that.
We definitely needed our space, and we definitely needed that. Just the space in general to have that for us. So it's definitely been it's been nice. So
I will say I don't think I've ever spoken to any of the admins from Lance Corman. I don't think I've ever had the opportunity to.
I have.
But I have this sneaky suspicion I might know, like whoever came up with the name for them, Lance Corman. I feel like I might know them because I've used that term before. I'm not. Before anybody hops on my fucking dick about this, like, disclaimer, I am not claiming credit for the name Lance Corman. I used to have this joke with my Marines that because every time we would do a fucking huddle up or whatever, fucking school circle on me bullshit, I'd be like, oh, listen up, Marines, and my dumb ass would be in the back, and Corman, listen up, Marines, and Corman, and one day one of my guys turned around, he's like, you're pretty much a Lance Corporal, fuck you. I was like, it's like, yeah, bro, Lance Corman for life. it was like and to me it was like an inside joke that I have with my guys, and even so before I left, when I PCS, the day I PCS from my unit, I got I got pinned as a lance. No bullshit. Like it was
nice.
inside joke for the longest time that they were going to do it to me, and I was like, yeah, okay. And of course, when I got my pin on deployment, they fucking pinned the fuck out of me. You know, the whole classic pulling the out your chest.
As it should be done.
Yeah, exactly. But after that, the joke is like, don't think you're fucking leaving us without getting your fucking lance chevrons pinned on you. And I was like, all right, yeah, sure, whatever. Like, and sure enough, like my last day, I was literally like, all right, bro, it's like heading to the house. I'm doing out. They're like, all right. Somebody closed the door and locked it behind me. Like,
Doc, you know what time it is.
Yeah. You're like, the chevrons. I was like, oh, for real? Like, well, you thought we were joking? Like, I mean, kind of. Like, don't bitch out now. Like, well, I don't really have a fucking choice. There's 10 of you in here. Like, what the fuck? I'm getting gang raped regardless.
Oh, most definitely.
So, like I said, I'm not claiming Lance Corman, but I feel like maybe I might know them, and I might, what is it? When it came out, I joked that it was, how like Google and Facebook, like you fucking think about, like, man, like I could use a good pocket pussy, and the next boom, there's a Wish ad for a pocket pussy on your Facebook.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? That's what I felt like when I saw Lance Corman. It's like, what the fuck? Like, does somebody else use that term besides me? Like, what the fuck? No way. Like I said, I mean, I could just be full of my shit, but I feel like I might actually know that guy.
It's a probability. I've spoken to one of them, and it's a handful of them. So
yeah.
They got that going on as well. So it could be a probability, but at the same time, like how most things happen in the military, it's happening to you. It's also happening to somebody else. It's also happening to somebody else. So there's like this weird mirror. Same things happening to somebody else, like 3, 4, 5 other people. So, like sometimes, like I'll admit to, I like to think that I'm the best thing since sliced bread. It's like, no, I came up with this idea first. I thought it. I have more followers, so I'm right.
Yeah, no shit.
But I definitely understand where you come from. It's like, yeah, I've used this term. And even in 2010, 2011, social media was like big, but it wasn't like there was this weird transition from like MySpace and Facebook.
Yeah.
But it wasn't as huge when it came to memes and everything else. So there was always that weird in between. So I get where you're coming from.
Yeah, dude. Like I said, it also plays in that fucking. That's one of the very few fucking Navy phrases that I like, and one of the very short list, but the fucking big world, small Navy type shit. That's something I chalk it up to. Like who was it? We had this guy, the sergeant who was in my unit who used to like compare shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we'd be out of June digging fucking fighting holes and fucking 100% humidity.
Yeah.
And he'd like, yeah, you guys, you guys are bitching, thinking, but this is bad. Just think, there's Marines on the other side of the fucking country that are digging fighting holes in 100-degree weather that hate it just as much as you do. Like,
yep.
Okay. Point is, still fucking sucks.
The point is, it could always be worse.
Yeah.
So, DD1 got shut down for whatever reason. DD2 gets shut down. You get more people on for DD3.
Mm-hmm. And then DD4,
So 4, 5, and 6. I think 6 is what it came up to.
Yeah, that's right. Because we had that big plan that if we ever made it to the 8th iteration of DD, we were going to call it DD 404.
Oh yeah.
Or what was the other one that we joked about? Fucking D8, the Ocho.
Oh yeah.
And of course it never happened because DD4 came and we got a good majority of our followers. I know we were still like we weren't as high as 20K, but I think we were still like single digit thousands or pushing double digits, something like that. But then 4 got shut down, and then that's when we started to notice the trend of like, dude, we're not getting as many people back. And at the same time, it almost seemed like because we were getting shut down more often, and
I think it was also due to the fact that some of the content that was being posted at that time and some of the Facebook fights, I guess, with other pages. And it was more Dependa pages, I think it was what it was. I can't exactly recall, but there was a lot more circumstances where the things we were calling out, I guess.
Yeah, there was that
they didn't carry a whole lot of weight. Like, it was understandable of why, but it was still kind of like, bro, like, really? So I think that's where it kind of carried a weird weight that wasn't entirely worth it.
There was a whole paradigm, because there was a whole paradigm shift, dude. And it was like nobody gave us the fucking memo.
Mm-hmm.
But first we had that problem. We had that issue with the original F and Wook page. They had their own internal drama that we got dragged into, and then they became defunct, and then came back, and then went defunct again. But then I think the really big thing, I think that really changed directions of how these pages started going as far as content and the aggressiveness and the hate and discontent, as the old model used to be.
Oh yeah,
and let me fucking put another disclaimer before it starts raining fucking hellfire on us for this shit. But it was Effin' Boot. Remember how Effin' Boot used to be fucking hardcore, like how J-Tots and PBF were in the original. Like, there was not give a fuck content. They said what they wanted, when they wanted, and didn't give a fuck whose butt they hurt.
That's right.
And I don't know the full story about what happened, but I just know that the other pages like J-Tots, PBF, and Dave and Gumbro, like all the other heavy hitters, there was pretty much like the gist of it. They were saying Effin' Boot sold out. Like, they were, I guess, like the best analogy I can think of is like they went mainstream. Like they were playing along with headquarters Marine Corps headquarters and shit like that. Like, they started playing nice, and of course that wasn't fitting into everybody else's
agenda,
personalities, and they saw it, like I said, they saw it as Effin' Boot selling out. But that's when NCIS was heavy into the
You're coming in a little broken there, bro, so you might have to repeat a little bit after NCIS.
Trying to say it was 3 is when Silver Bullet ducked out, and that was his last hurrah, because he was catching some legitimate heat on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
and pretty much, the fucking they're closing in on me, bro. Like, I got to do stuff, and you went completely off the grid from everything. And I didn't speak to him because I was out by this time. I didn't speak to him for years because that's how off the grid he went. Like,
yeah,
like, I got a new number, like canceled all his social media, like just fucking blipped on. And I had to find out from other sources who were in our inner circle what the fuck transpired, that he literally, like, I got the message, and then within the hour it was media blackout, for him. And that's when it all really started to change. I think J-Tots started having issues with the fake J-Tots pages coming up. And
I remember that.
PBF was having fake PBF pages coming up. I don't really know what happened to Dave and Gumbro. Like, I don't know if they got shut down for good or if they just stopped posting. Like,
I don't know. I've seen them come back up on Instagram a little bit here and there. But we just recently added them again, and
Oh, okay.
they're posting stuff here and there. They're not as huge as like how they once were, like
Yeah.
Facebook days. So, but
Yeah, I
they're
get
still
that.
kind of around, but they're not as heavy hitters as like
Gotcha. So pretty much like to us, like I guess a good analogy would be like, to us, we know who Cat Williams is, funny fucking comedian. We know his content, like, shit like that. But the new age, like Cat Williams, see anything like Kevin Hart, like
yeah.
like so. I guess
Things definitely took a change, and even from our transition from Facebook to Instagram, it was definitely a huge change. And
yeah,
even just that old mentality of, hey, let's call everyone out, let's just do what we used to. It wasn't gonna fly. It was
yeah,
totally different. We got to take a totally different mentality in the way we're doing things, the way we're posting memes,
yeah,
hashtags. During that time was like a whole another different game, and then learning a
yeah.
whole different um,
Yeah, because even before when we were fresh to the
game.
Instagram game, we were heavy on the hashtags, and now I've seen like the posts that you throw up. They're not as heavy, they're more to the point now. Like,
Yeah. So it was weird in the beginning, since we didn't have a lot of following. The
yeah,
hashtag games were the thing because of the algorithm, and I hate the algorithm. I'm just gonna throw it out there. Instagram, you know what? Like, help me, please. We need help.
yeah,
No, but yeah, the algorithm is just so crazy to catch, and then just kind of try and figure out time frames, hashtags, when to post, when not to post. That's always like
yeah,
been super crazy, and just trying to figure that out is just a pain in the ass. But yeah, definitely that changed at the beginning. Super heavy on the hashtag, so more people would kind of follow, look, and then the networking was like I think the second hardest thing.
dude.
Talking to other people, talking to other big pages, and seeing who's going to help out, who kind of help us out. And watermarking has always been just a nightmare because you make a meme and you think that most people are decent enough, or it's like, okay, yeah, you can share my stuff, which is fine. Give me a little shout, give me a little bit of credit, and I ain't worried about it. But when they don't, it's just like, come on, bro, like, well, we're all out here doing the same thing. Like, the least you can do is give me a little bit. And sometimes I've been guilty of it. We've been guilty of it. Like, that's not even a lie.
Yeah, no bullshit like that.
And then we have, we apologize sincerely. You know what I mean? Because we understand what it's like coming up from nothing, and then a bigger page comes to steal your stuff. Like, but to be fair, like, if people tell me, "Hey, man, I made that, blah blah blah," you show me the proof. Okay, I'll give you that tag, bro. Like, that goes without saying.
Yeah, dude, I remember when the fucking watermark game started. And, God, it was fucking miserable. Because like some of us, if we're making memes on our fucking phones, some of us who had Android had like a watermark app, whereas people who had fucking iPhones didn't have that app. So we'd be having to send memes to each other, put the watermark on it, send it back. Or if we post a meme, a fucking fire meme, and it's like, oh, bro, you didn't fucking, you didn't throw a watermark on there. Like, oh, fuck, it's already got like 200 likes. Like, well, it's either leave it up and risk somebody fucking jacking our shit, or you take it down and watermark and rethrow it up. And it's like, fuck, dude, and I'm sure even to this day, it's more of a hassle than it is beneficial.
It varies, but it's still recording. But I'm gonna go take a piss real quick. Give me a sec.
Okay. Little B-roll for anybody who, if he decides to add this, me and MJ, or just a couple bros sipping on some hard seltzers like a bunch of basic bitches. It is what it is. Do I feel less manly for it? Absolutely not. It is what it is. And to that, I say, Oh, fuck. That's actually not bad. All right, guys. If you decide to put this in here, pineapple seltzer. Good shit.
So yeah, with the watermarks, at least back in the day, it was a little more difficult to find the right app to be able to put the right watermark on it, and we were sending stuff back and forth to each other, and then we had the debate. It's like, we're gonna throw it up, is someone gonna steal it? They're not. At that point, it was too late. But at least nowadays, it makes it so much simpler because most of the apps, and you might have to pay, but it's really not that much. So now you don't even think about it. It's already on there, and you can make it so much easier, or you can use different apps to just kind of add a text and then put it on there. But it was definitely a huge thing because I feel like the meme game now is like so much crazier because of the different amount of content that's been able to be put up. But even during that time, 2013, 14, 15, even for Facebook, there was only so much stuff that was being put up and so much stuff that was being sent in that if you didn't watermark your stuff, people were going to take and claim it as their own. But it's just like, come on, bro. Like, we posted it on here first. Like, it's ours. Like, don't be claiming stuff for yourself. But then at the same time, it's just like, you know what? It is what it is. You can you can be mad about it, or you can just kind of appreciate the fact that someone thought your content was good enough to steal. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and I know exactly what you're getting at there. And like, I remember the first time J-Tot stole a meme from us, and it was like just like the first time we got shut down. I was like, yo, did you fucking see J-Tot's posted our meme? Like, fuck, like that means they look at our page, bro. Either that or somebody who looked at our page sent them that shit and they thought it was good enough to go up on the page. Like, fuck yeah. And I was like, but wait, we didn't get a shout out. Like, hold on. Like, and that was, like early days, DD1, DD2. I was like, yo, like, our meme just got fucking 700 likes on fucking J-Tot's page.
What are we doing?
Like, what the fuck? Like, we barely break 100 on our memes. Like, hold up, bro. Like, throw us a fucking bone, but like you said, but eventually it just ended up being, it is what it is. And like I was saying, eventually, it became the numbers game. Once our content was backed by our numbers, we were brought into the fold, and I guess treated as equals or whatever the fuck. But I will say one thing that you're talking about when it comes to how things have changed as far as like the meme go. Like back in the day, back in the early days of this fucking military meme page shit, we could reuse memes day in, day out, constantly. And we could always revisit them. And it was never a problem. Like the fucking Bad Luck Brian memes, dude. Like we could apply that to fucking so much shit, it would never get old. But nowadays, like, and as good as I do, that memes have a shelf life, which is crazy. And there's only so few that you can always come back to, like the fucking, like the SpongeBob one, the fucking chicken SpongeBob one, the whatever. Like that one, you can always come back and apply it to anything. But nowadays it's crazy the way memes trend.
It's a whole nother ball game, bro. Because they have a shelf life of maybe like a day or two, and they come out so fast, and those trends are just hitting, and they're dead within a couple of days, and it's hard to keep up with a lot of the trends. And I find myself like searching through other pages too, and it's just like, God damn, man! Like I see something, and it's like, okay, and then I get an idea, and then like things just kind of happen, but it definitely,
and that's why, like,
so quick.
When you say like you don't consider yourself an OG or you're not an OG, like, dude, like I can't even imagine like one, when you went on deployment and I took over for you while you were, dude, it was fucking rough, dude. I remember constantly saying to myself, like, was it this fucking hard when for those few months where I was keeping, DD fucking whatever number afloat by myself. Like, I don't remember it being this fucking hard. Like you said, networking now is so much harder than what it used to be. because there's not only are there military meme pages, but there's the patriotic civilian pages that reach out to the IG pages. There's the military supporter pages. Like, there's so many different entities besides just the military only meme pages.
Yep.
And now there's the other branches reaching out. And then on top of that, the meme shelf life and trying to stay relevant on the memes. Like, dude, I was fucking suffocating, bro. Like I was just like, dude, when's this motherfucker coming back? Like, like for real, like real talk. Like, I know he doesn't want to be there, but like, I don't want him to be there more than he doesn't want to be there. Like, it's bullshit.
Yeah, bro. It was definitely, it was a little bit of a breather for me because
vacay.
a little vacation, and then give you guys a little bit back of that heat back, you know what I mean? But at the same time, it's just like, you know what, I got to make things for what they are right now, and I don't have service. I can't really do much until I do. So,
and like I said, that's why, like, anytime like I said, dude, the page, like, Disgruntled Docs now would be nothing if we hadn't swapped over to IG, which is your idea, and then for you to run it the way you have been, dude, and the reach that we are, the reach that the page is at right now is from pretty much, you might as well be grinding it out, dude. Like, as far as everything, as far as the pages, the IG pages come, and like in my eyes, you're as equal as any, like, as if you were here from day one, because like pretty much IG Disgruntled Docs might as well, be, it could be like its own separate venture, you know what I'm saying? Like,
it's its own chapter for sure, but
pretty much, yeah.
But I don't know. Like, I definitely feel blessed that we've been able to take it this far, and hopefully we can take it a lot farther and do a lot more. And I just feel a little more lucky that I was able to get on, and that you guys were able to kind of accept me and take me in. And since then, it's just been super amazing. It's been stressful.
Yeah, dude, I'm fucking with you on that. Like, because I know when the short amount of time I took, that small amount of time I took over for you for the IG page, which reminds me, after this, I gotta get your some of your info from you, because when I did that, like, fucking that PVC patch giveaway, the Disgruntled Docs shield, I still have a fuck ton of those. Well, I wouldn't say a fuck ton, but I have like 15, 20 of them left. So I can send them to you. And
oh, damn, here we go.
Yeah. So, I mean, you're already networking with other people, and doing your own giveaways. So it'd be, like I said, I'm not anywhere near as active as I used to be on social media. And so, I mean, they're just sitting in a bag in my room right now, not doing anything. So you would be, I mean, sending them to you, they'd be put to good use, and they'd actually go out to the fucking fans that have stuck with us and shit. Same thing, dude. Like with IG and this podcast now, you've come up with fresh ideas, breathed new life into the Disgruntled Docs brand. Like, I may not be able. Hey, what's up? I may not be able to be as active as far as social media goes, but I can definitely see myself being more active as far as this aspect goes, the podcast aspect. So, I mean, we can, this is something I can actually find the time for and make time for, versus, like I said, being outside of active duty. I'm not as in the fold of what the fuck's relevant anymore and what's going on, and nor have the time to stay on top of content. But this type of shit, dude, I can do this. Like, I know. I mean, shit, like tech. I consider this to be your show. You're running this, dude. So we could talk later offline about this, whatever. But this is something I can definitely have to be brought back into the fold to help further our brand, so to speak.
Yeah, and that's something definitely I've considered, and I've been glad to be brought upon this journey from Facebook to Instagram to this into our next step. So, and now
Yeah.
that we know that we have a little bit more patches, it's something definitely we can do a little bit more to promote this podcast, I guess you can kind of say. And then for this next episode, we could definitely do a little bit more, talk about a couple more things. But uh, first off, man, I want to thank you for one, giving me the time to submit my dumbass fucking memes and accept me as one, as one of the OGs, and you know, be able to take these steps on this crazy ass journey. So hey, thank you for being on here, man. There's definitely going to be a whole lot more in store for everyone, and we'll definitely have more conversations and stuff.
Hell yeah, dude! I look forward to it. I mean, shit. For our first go at it, I felt like this is pretty smooth as fuck. You know, this is as natural as it gets.
Yeah.
And then fuck on top of that, dude. Like I have fucking had a few drinks. Had a fucking chill ass time. Yeah, right. That reminds me. Go back and listen to the dumb shit I was saying while you were taking a piss.
I'm gonna have to.
Yeah. But you know, I got to have just chill ass conversation with one of the boys, and you know, reminisce, and it's a, one thing I think that should be important that I should throw in is, you know, especially because we talked about you and Beebs talked about it when you guys were on IG Live, and we always talk about it from time to time about how this the modern day war fighters, you know, are being phased out at the cyclic rate, you know, shit. And like, and a lot of us who are out or on their way out don't always have the opportunity to just have a fucking decent conversation with a fellow warfighter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, this is a great opportunity. I'm glad you brought me on. I'm super chilled, super relaxed. You know, it's pretty much, you know, this made my night, bro.
Well, I'm glad I was able to do that, bro. But like, even which I completely agree. Yeah, sometimes it's hard, difficult to find someone that you can vent to, someone you can talk to. Like, you know exactly that they can relate. But at the same time, like how you and me were talking about, you know, there's been this whole culture change and culture shift as it pertains to the Navy, as it pertains to corpsmen, and the whole mentality of our rating in specific. So like, even the same night when I was on live, and I might have been belligerently drunk, who knows? You know, it might not hold in a court of law, but either way, at the same time, it's just like there's so much more different things going on.
Yeah.
And we got to remain flexible and be able to kind of, I'm not saying go with the flow, but at the same time, as we got to understand our place and what we need to do now as the experienced guys, I guess you could say, quote unquote, that what are we doing to teach these new guys, instead of just kind of like how the old mentality was, like, you're dumb, you're stupid, you don't know what you're talking about, like, get away from me. It's like, which used to be the go-to, you know what I mean? It's like, get away from me, you boot. Like, I don't even know why you're staring at me. You're not even allowed in my presence. Like, you should kiss the steps that I'm walking on. You know what I mean? Like, I practically float on water. But, you know, things have changed to a point where it's just like, now it's just like, okay, we have all this information, we have all this knowledge. What are we doing with it now? And I think that's been a good change as it pertains to the page and a lot of the stuff that we're doing. So, it's been good. Yeah, we can still have a little bit of that balance, so where you can still kind of talk down on people, but then at the same time kind of talk up some other people as well. As long as if you're doing what you're supposed to, you're always going to be set. But definitely that change of attitude and perception, and as it pertains to our rate and being a corpsman. And funny enough, even as just being a doc in general, because we have a shout out to all the Army medics out there, Air Force as well, and Coast Guard as well, because I know we got like followers and even people from other countries, funny enough, because I've gotten send out stickers to like Germany, Switzerland.
You know,
like everywhere in the world is so crazy, bro. Like it's just kind of unbelievable. So if you're a corpsman or you're a doc or some kind of medical in a civilian or medical profession, a shout outs to you. Thank you for following and for doing what you do.
Yeah.
Because it's crazy going from just one specific niche, which being corpsman, to just now, hey, you can be disgruntled. Anyone can be disgruntled, but then you add doc to it. Doc fits so many different types of titles.
Exactly.
Army medics, Air Force medics, corpsmen, Coast Guard, different branches. So they understand that sentiment. They understand that feeling. So shout outs to them. Thank y'all for following. I know that they all understand. So at the same time, it's kind of like, okay, it's not that we're pandering.
No, not at all. You
know what I mean? But we understand. We understand our crowd and who we're talking to. So
exactly, we've evolved as far as how we think and who our audience to. Because I remember when this first started, it was me and Silver Bullet had initially discussed the idea of if our content should be aimed, like you said, to the generalized doc community, or if it should be corpsman only. And we both, of course, like that. Like, yeah, fuck everyone else. Like, real docs or corpsmen. Like, nobody else can claim that title. But as like you said, as things have changed, as we've also matured as fucking adults and human beings, and all that other good shit. And we've gotten a good feel for who our audience is, what's a hit or miss, shit like that. We can, and like you said, we're not pandering. We just know that other people relate to our shit. And if anything, trying to just connect with just the corpsman community, it would stifle our growth. If we want to continue to grow as a brand, I guess.
Yeah, not just that. Like I've also worked with like several different branches. Like at least for me personally, on a couple of several deployments. So I understand that they have a lot of the same sentiments we do, and they completely understand. So it's just like it doesn't just apply to corpsmen specifically. If going back to our name, it goes back to that specific root of the problem. You're disgruntled because you've dealt with so much crappy stuff in your career, militarily or civilian, and then you're a doc. You're working in the military. You're working in the in the medical field, and you're trying to help people out, but you're dealing with all this crap.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so it all just comes full circle, and I'm glad that we've been able to kind of branch out and just kind of been covering a little bit of everything, so that way people understand it's just like, no, it's not just one specific. Yeah, it may be run by just corpsmen, but at the same time, we've worked with a variety of different types of branches, countries, civilian and militarily, so we understand that aspect of just working medicine and just being angry, being disgruntled because of all the little things that we have to deal with.
Yeah, absolutely. Couldn't have said better myself.
So I think that wraps it up for about the first episode. So keep track. We will have hopefully more on track. If you guys like it, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, leave some comments at the bottom, and keep track on the next episode. All right. Thank you for coming on, Kung Fu.
Hey, no problem, brother. Look forward to many more.
All right, man.